Welcome, I'm Ijeoma Onyato. Tonight, federal government says PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has questions to answer over 156 million naira slush fund allegedly withdrawn from the defunct bank PHB. People's Democratic Party dismisses federal government's allegation of financial fraud against its presidential candidate, says the APC is jittery over its candidate's visit to the US. Senator representing Kogi West Dino Melaye gets bail on the grounds of ill health to provide 3 sureties, including the clerk of the National Assembly. And Australians troop to beaches as the country faces extreme heat wave, causing increase in hospital admissions and wildlife deaths.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's National Petroleum Corporation confirms payment of nearly $1 billion cash call arrears owed to its joint ventures partners as of September 2018.
On sports news tonight, gunmen kill Ghanaian investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Swale, who helped uncover corruption in African football.
From Abuja, INEC and European Union warn against the proliferation of fake news in the country ahead of the general elections, call on Nigerians to tackle the menace.
The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, says the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party has questions to answer regarding his involvement in the collapse of the former bank PHB. Now, according to the Information Minister, there's fresh evidence that on January the 13th, 2009, Alhaji Abubakar was issued a cheque of 156 million naira from the bank. He told correspondents that while the EFCC may not go after Alhaji Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate should be ready to provide answers to Nigerians as soon as he gets back.
We are not perturbed one bit that Atiku Abubakar was able to secure a visa to go to the US. As a matter of fact, he can go ahead and get the US green card. That would not save him from the imminent defeat in the forthcoming elections. We do need to remind Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that the elections will be held here in Nigeria and not in the US. In any event, anytime Alhaji Abubakar returns home, he has questions to answer. Following the fresh evidence that we have, that he benefited from the slush funds that led to the collapse of the former bank PHB. The paper trail which we have here shows that he benefited to the tune of 156 million naira from that slush fund. And we have evidence here of the account mandate in the name of Atiku Abubakar. We also have a copy of the check in which the sum of 156 million naira was issued to Atiku Abubakar, dated the same day, 13th of January 2009. And of course, we also have statement of account within that period that confirms that this sum was actually paid in his account and was credited with it. So this fresh evidence as to his involvement in the collapse of Bank PHB. So we want him to stay as long as he wants in the US, but as soon as he comes back, he may have to explain to the electorate and Nigerians what his role was in the collapse of the former bank PHB.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has reacted by questioning the truthfulness of the claims by the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. In a statement, the opposition party recalls that Mr. Mohammed had earlier told Nigerians that its presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, could not travel to the United States. The statement, signed by the spokesman of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Kasim Afegwa, says the government seeking the political mileage of Mr. Abubakar travelling to the States has now come up with Bank PHB issue. According to Mr. Afegwa, quote, "Since the news broke yesterday that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has entered the U.S. and billed to address the business community, Lai Mohammed, the APC leadership, and the presidency have kept vigil in search for a punchline to the visit," end of quote. He wonders why the government that parades several anti-corruption agencies, including the EFCC, ICPC, police, SFIU, and the NFIU, would instead of doing the needful, rather level allegations in public space. And on the visit of their presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, to the United States of America, the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Secondus, says it's vindicated the former vice president. Mr. Secondus describes the corruption allegations being leveled against Alhaji Abubakar as cheap blackmail from political opponents. The PDP national chairman was speaking at the inauguration of 27 subcommittees of the PDP presidential campaign organization in Abuja. And while asking the electoral umpire to be firm and upright, he also urged members of the subcommittees to work hard and ensure that presidential elections are not rigged.
You are aware that our presidential candidate is in the United States now, as we speak. I don't know what government and APC want to do. The man is clean. He has no iota of anything has to do with corruption in him. By the grace of God, he will be returning after the meeting with all sections of the government and the good people of the United States and the Nigerian people living in the United States. So he will arrive on Sunday. By the grace of God, that trip is so important to us than any other thing. We are going to win this election. By the public opinion in Nigeria, this election is already won. But we must prevent APC and government agencies from rigging this election. That's our duty. And so, we require you to make the necessary sacrifices to make sure that you perform.
Well, that's from the opposition. But the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has pledged his determination to bring peace between farmers and herders as he appealed for accommodation and tolerance among the two parties. Receiving the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association at the State House, President Buhari appealed for calm among Nigerians as he pledged to give equal respect to all, irrespective of tribe or religion. He also received in audience 14 political parties under the aegis of the Coalition of Progressive Parties and the People's Democratic Movement. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezuke, reports.
More support groups make an open show of their support to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, few weeks to the general elections. 14 political parties under the aegis of the Coalition of Progressive Parties pledged to work round the clock to ensure his success at the polls.
We have kept faith with you because we can confidently declare that your 4 years in office have made Nigeria better.
The president also received the People's Democratic Movement, led by its national chairman, and the Bauchi State governor.
I assure you that, to me, you reflect this great man, his principles. I'm pleased that patriotism is the bottom line as far as we are concerned. We work for our country and our people, and we will continue to do so. I assure you, you can't get anything material more than the satisfaction you get from doing what you believe and be steadfast. I respect all of you for that.
For the first time, they're succeeding. They have resolved on their own to join the movement of Mr. President. I think it is a very, very fantastic opportunity.
The president's efforts to revive some sectors has attracted encomiums from this group.
For his honesty, transparency, and commitment. And secondly, for the desire and effort he has in reviving the entire livestock sector after a long period of neglect. These are some of the few reasons that we considered and endorsed Mr. President to move to the next level.
In a statement after the meeting, the president pledged his determination to bring peace between farmers and herders as he appealed for accommodation and tolerance between the parties. President Muhammadu Buhari continues to assure Nigerians that the mandates promised in 2015 will be consolidated upon in the next 4 years. From the presidential villa, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
To the campaign trail now, then Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has asked his supporters to collect their permanent voters' cards, describing it as the only weapon with which to win elections. Governor Ganduje made this appeal when he kicked off his gubernatorial campaign in Dogwa local government area of Kano State, where he received defectors from the opposition into the All Progressives Congress. The governor also commissioned the power project at Habidia town in Tudunwada local government area. Our correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
It's showtime in Kano as Governor Ganduje formally declared his re-election campaign rally in Dogwa local government area of the state. Party supporters believe that Governor Ganduje's first achievement are a pointer to the fact that he deserves another term.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the people of Kano State for supporting our governor, for supporting our president, for supporting our party.
In terms of infrastructure, there is many underpass getting to 30 or 40 billion naira executed by this present administration. And in terms of giving empowerment, thousands of youth, they have been given empowerment, and many women and youth, they have been getting jobs in this government.
Governor Ganduje is impressed by the massive turnout of his supporters, and he explains that it is an indication that the people of Kano State are satisfied with his development agenda and President Buhari's efforts to transform Nigeria's economy.
We are highly impressed, and this has shown the acceptance of our party. This shows that our President Muhammadu Buhari will win the election overwhelmingly. All our senators will win the election, House of Representatives, State Assembly, and the governor. We shall win the election 100%.
While recalling various developmental projects started by the governor, party officials gave the assurance that Mr. Ganduje and President Muhammadu Buhari will continue with the good works they have started.
And this is where Buhari is going to get 1.6 to 1.8 million votes. That I assure you by God's grace. We are all APC, we are strong APC in this area, and we'll continue to work hard for the people. You can see the crowd, you can see the reaction of the people.
I want to assure you that what my people are saying now by action is like the APC is the only party in this area. We are for Muhammadu Buhari, we are for the governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, irrespective of the insinuation.
Governor Ganduje then inaugurates the power project in Tudunwada, where he promised that more of these projects are already on his plan if he is re-elected by the people. Idris Jibrin, Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, 5 presidential candidates to slug it out tomorrow in a debate being organized by the Nigeria Election Debate Group and the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria in Abuja. That's in a moment. You stay with us.